What's going on, Car Family? Happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? I wanted to take some time to address the move the Cowboys made today, picking up Amari Cooper. So was at work today and ran into a coworker who is also a Cowboys fan. We were discussing the loss yesterday, how frustrated we were, how disappointing it is to have a good defense and an offense that just, can't get the job done. And he was suggesting, the Cowboys needed another wide receiver, which I agree. And he was saying Terrell Pryor and saying we missed the boat on Josh Gordon. And I said, well, I heard yesterday that we had some interest in Amari Cooper, but I don't know if the Raiders are necessarily interested in giving him up. And I had also heard they wanted a number one, and I didn't know if the Cowboys would be willing to do that. Well, not 10 minutes later, he texted me and showed me that the Cowboys had acquired Amari Cooper for number one draft pick in next year's draft. So let's just address a couple things first, because I don't know if people that don't really follow the Cowboys understand really what's going on in Dallas, and that Dallas has really been divided into two camps, and these are the camps right here in reality. There was a lot of people upset when Dallas cut Dez Bryant. A lot of people felt like, number one, Dallas was leaving themselves without any quality wide receivers, which does appear to be the case. And number two, a lot of us felt like, and as you can see, I'm saying us because I was in this camp, as anybody who knows me knows this. Number two, it seemed that we were putting all of our eggs in Dak's basket and Dak Prescott. And, he showed he didn't get better last year. He got worse. And that was concerning. They were supposedly installing a Dak-friendly offense, this dink and dunk, trying to emulate the Patriots with these little receivers, fast guys. And, I said at the beginning of the year, I still say it now, that's not going to work. This Dallas is not the New England Patriots, and the Dallas Cowboys, they need, in my opinion, that X receiver, which was Dez Bryant. You can argue all day long about whether Dez Bryant was still in his prime or not, but the reality of the situation is, Dez was still productive when the accuracy was still there. So there's just a little background. Hold on one second. So fast forward to now, we get 7 games into the season. We're 3-4. Defense is pretty good. Seems to be getting better, and we're struggling. We can't move the football. We can't run the ball. We can't throw the ball. They're just not moving the ball on offense. So the move makes sense. Cooper, for those that doubted Dez, people said he couldn't catch, which was a lie. He couldn't catch passes that weren't thrown to him. He could not catch inaccurate passes. Did he drop some passes? Yeah, but my argument would be, and was then, that if 1 out of every 3 passes is in your area code, it's probably a little harder to be consistent when that's the case. So Cooper is sort of also known for drops. He's had his share of drops in the past few years. Maybe you can draw some similarities between Derek Carr and Dak Prescott. But one thing about Cooper that is different than Dez, and I don't necessarily think Dez was a poor route runner, but Cooper is known as a precision route runner. He is a good route runner. He can be that X receiver. He can line up outside or inside. The Raiders used him both. And the book on Dez was that all he was a deep guy, running deep post or a back shoulder fade, and Dak can't throw a back shoulder fade. We've seen him throw one back shoulder fade all year to Michael Gallup. So Cooper brings a more, if you believe it, more diverse skill set at wide receiver. Cooper is the type of receiver that should work with Dak. He's got decent size, he's got decent speed, precision route runner. He can make big plays. This should be the answer. Secondly, I hear a lot of people saying Dallas gave up too much. Okay, I can somewhat get down with that, but I'm going to be challenged to think of a number one pick. So let's say we got an 8-8 team. Okay, so we're drafting somewhere 15 to 20th. I'm going to be challenged for you to find me a number one draft pick in next year's draft that can immediately come in and do what Amari Cooper can, and I don't think it exists. I believe that putting Cooper on the field immediately makes Zeke's life easier. It immediately makes Dak's life easier. I think it'll make the offensive line's life easier. But the pressure, if the pressure was on Dak before, the pressure is now squarely on Dak Prescott to show that he can be a serviceable NFL quarterback. So I'm excited. I don't necessarily think, this is a move that, boosts us into, top of the league or anything, but definitely I don't think our offense had any weapons. If you've been watching, no offense to Cole Beasley, but when Cole Beasley is really your number one option, that's problematic, and we got a bye week coming up. I like the idea of Cooper, and hold on one second. So I like the idea of Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Cole Beasley in the slot. Allen Hurns, he's a fourth receiver, which is, in my opinion, what Allen Hurns is. I think Michael Gallup has shown flashes that he can be a good receiver. He's got good hands. He can definitely get up in the air and catch high point balls. I think he'll complement Amari Cooper nicely. It creates more for the defense to defend, which I don't know if you watched the game last night, but the Redskins were bringing 8-9 men in the box. Dak had opportunities yesterday, and he missed a couple. And, if he misses them, it's one thing missing them when Michael Gallup is streaking down the sideline. It's going to be another when it's Amari Cooper. I still feel that Dez was scapegoated. Said he was regressing, all this stuff, attitude issues. Well, if all of a sudden, and granted, Cooper has not been what he was. Like, he had a down year last year. Of course, Derek Carr had a down year. But, I think we'll know pretty quickly. We'll see if Dak and Cooper can develop chemistry, because he never really developed any chemistry with Dez. Can these two develop chemistry? If at some point you keep trying all-pro number one receivers, you keep trying to develop chemistry with them and you can't, at some point it might become time to look at the quarterback. So I think this is a good move. I don't think we were going to get, anything as good as Cooper in the draft next year. Wide receiver is our most glaring need. We've got defensive linemen. We've got linebackers. We've got a running back, maybe quarterback. We definitely could say we need a safety also. But really, wide receiver is where we needed help. So, like I say, I'm excited. The most disappointing thing is I used to PC this guy, Amari Cooper. He was on my fantasy team, so I PC'd him for a couple years, and I dropped him on my fantasy team because he wasn't producing last year and ended up getting rid of a lot of his cards. So I'm going to have to get back on that Cooper train and see what I can do. But anyhow, I just wanted to share, what I think. I don't know what my expectations are. Cooper's not going to come in and be, a 100-yard guy a game. I just don't think Dak is. I don't think Dak correlates with that. But we need him to come in and be a threat. Just demand some attention on the defense, and he's got to make some plays too, or they won't continue to pay attention to him. Anyhow, that's all I got. see what happens with this. Appreciate y'all watching. Keep it real. I'm out.